Aloha, welcome to another edition of the Above the Bridge podcast. I'm your host, Thaddeus Park. I want to take this time to thank you for tuning in. Whatever platform you're listening to this podcast on, please like, subscribe, tell your friends, and appreciate you very much for listening to our show. Want to invite all of you to a R&B day party me and DJ Boy have been doing. It's going to be May 24th at the Capitol Modern, and you can get your tickets at laidbackrnb.com. It's cool vibes. We got good food from Whiskey Smoke. It's gonna be just a cool vibe. We do it every couple of months. Laidbackrnb.com. Go check out their website because it's pretty cool. It has a lot of footage and pictures and video from the last two laid back. But this is your invite. Go get your tickets now. It's probably gonna sell out. So May 24th, Capital Modern, Layback R&B. Aloha. Okay, this week my guest is somebody I was a fan of personally. He was a fighter, MMA fighter, and I got to watch him compete, and I got to know him through the years. And we always did his fight entrance music. That's how I got to know him for Destiny fights. And yeah, he's a shorter fighter, so I always love short fighters because I was one of them. So Nate Yoshimura, welcome to my show, and I'm excited to have you here, my bro.
Thanks, man. I'm happy to be here too. First time doing this, so I'm pretty pumped.
Yeah, it's cool. I seen you at where were we at? Jolene's, and we took a bunch of shots, and I was hoping you remembered me asking you to come on.
Honestly, straight up, I that was the most I drank in like a couple years, and I didn't remember. I didn't remember, but I got your text, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I did.
Oh, okay.
I did talk to you over there." So I didn't, but then I did because you reminded me. So
Okay, that's good. Yeah,
yeah,
we went in a little hard that night.
right. The long like first time in forever because I've been so busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you've been not fighting for a while, but I wanted to get into your MMA career for a little bit. And I was always impressed with you because, like, honestly, I was a fan, and the way you fought and how you held yourself outside of the cage too was cool. You're always a cool dude. And how did you even get into fighting back then, and like what started you off?
Ah, thanks, man. I never saw myself like that at all, but like I didn't think people like were a fan of like what I did. I
Well,
just
for
kind of
sure.
yeah, I kind of I don't know. I always, Hawaii, we always like fight and stuff like that, and we grew up like garage training, and I ended up wrestling in high school my junior year, and then wrestled 3 years in college,
Oh wow.
and yeah, and then when I graduated I still wanted to stay active and, you know, do something similar to that. But you don't just find wrestling classes really for adults, really
Oh
in a
yeah.
lot of places. So I moved out to Cali and there was a UFC gym opening up near where I lived.
Mm.
And so um I got a job there and I just started training there for free because I worked there, free membership. So I just started doing classes and um I just saw some of my friends getting into it too. So I was like, oh, it's something that I could learn how to defend myself a little bit better. And it's active. And yeah, I just saw a lot of positives about it. So I just started doing it. Yeah, I just started training. No thoughts of ever really actually competing.
Oh
Never thought
wow.
I would just compete. But I was like, oh, I'll just do it, better myself a little bit. Yeah. So that's kind of how I started.
Oh, what, your first competition was in the mainland or back here?
Back home, over here in Hawaii. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I trained up there for like about a year. So trained up there for about a year and then moved home and then started working at a UFC gym in Kaka'ako area.
Oh,
So
the BJ Penn one where
yeah,
Pipeline used to be. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So when I came home, I was like, I need a job immediately, and that was somewhere where I figured I could get hired up pretty quick. Since I didn't really have much other plans at the time, I was like, "Oh, I'll just do here for something for money." I'll probably get hired here because I worked at the corporate one in California, And
Oh
so
yeah.
yeah, and then I get to train for free still too, you know?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, so
So
that's and then yeah, I just trained there, yeah.
how far after you started training or when you moved back home you got your first fight?
Oh, sure. That's a good question. I think it was about like a year or 2 or be in between the like 1 and 2 years. I can't remember the exact time frame. Yeah, yeah.
So
Didn't
what?
really
Was that Destiny or was not Destiny but Destiny Fights?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, uh, it was it was an event held by this guy, Justin. I forget his last name. Um, he fought in the UFC. He had like 3 fights, but he was coaching at
Oh,
the UFC
Kimura,
gym.
Justin Kimura? Was it Justin?
No,
Oh no, that's Dustin. Yeah,
Dustin, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
it's like a big howly guy with like, he looks like Spanish, and he has
Hmm.
like a ponytail. Man, I can't remember his last name. I remember his name's Justin, and he lived out in Cali, and but he moved to Hawaii, and him and Scott Junk were kinda coordinating that event,
Oh,
and they asked me to fight on that, yeah. But I remember I did a smoker at the UFC
oh
gym,
yeah.
yeah, so that was, like, my first, like, kind of, like, I guess, live action kind of experience, and then I did a actual, amateur fight, yeah,
Oh,
so
that's
that
super cool. I didn't
yeah.
even know that UFC gym did smokers.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if all of them do it, but I
or, or if it was legal or whatnot.
yeah, yeah, I don't know if they're supposed to be doing that, if that's just a Hawaii thing or what. Yeah, and then I remember they called it a smoker, and I had no idea what it is, and but they explained everything to me, and that's how green I was with, like, everything, like, the whole fight stuff, because I didn't
Oh,
really, I wasn't really aware of, like, all these of anything really, like, I kinda just jumped into it, and I don't have family that does that kind of stuff, not even wrestling or nothing. Um, yeah, so I kinda was just figuring everything out as I went along. Yeah.
were you a fan? Like, did you used to watch like UFC and stuff like that?
Oh, of course, yeah. Yeah, man, like, I love that stuff, and I was a
Yeah,
huge fan of BJ Penn and, this was before even Max was in the UFC,
yeah.
we were watching it, that was and I kinda jumped into it a little after Pride. 'Cause
Oh
Pride was
wow.
prob Yeah, yeah, so it was, like, when a lot of the old Pride fighters came to the UFC, so I
Yeah.
only knew them from the UFC, so when I kind of figured out later, like, Hendo, you know, Silva, Vanderlei Silva,
Oh
uh,
yeah.
but
Rampage. Yeah.
yeah, Rampage, and then, a bunch of these jujitsu guys, yeah, that came over. So, yeah, I
Did you
kinda
watch Pride? Like, go back and watch some of the Pride
Oh,
stuff?
yeah, yeah,
Right,
yeah,
that stuff was intense, bro.
yeah, straight straight punting heads,
Yeah, and those refs, they would let you die before they
Yeah.
stopped the fight. Pride was cool.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's cool. Yeah. I wish I was like more aware of um all that stuff at the time because I probably would have
Oh,
watched,
yeah.
when I was probably like real young when they still had Pride,
Yeah.
But yeah, all my friends watched it. We were all kind of into it, and that was when like Tap Out and all these companies
Oh,
came.
yeah.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah,
rocking all that
yeah.
Affliction and all that, yo.
Yeah. No, I was like, I'm not rocking this. What if someone calls me out, man?
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah,
want
I see some scrubs walking around with tap
yeah.
out stuff, it's like,
Yeah.
bro,
I didn't wanna
which
be that guy, you know? Like,
yeah,
I didn't wanna wear fight stuff, and I'm not even a fighter,
yeah. Well, you became one. How was your first fight? I know the feeling before a first fight, and it's kind of a wild ride. And for me, it was adrenaline dump was huge, and yeah.
Yeah.
How was
I
your first fight?
um, I mean, yeah, I was nervous for sure, um, but I always what kinda helped my mentality with all that was I always just try to train and put myself in a mental space of, like, actually being in a in the actual ring,
Hmm.
And, even though I was nervous I felt like I did everything and I took every fight kind of like this. I just I just took everything as like mentally as I'm actually going to be fighting at that moment, you know? And so I just pretty much plugged my head into what I did when I was practicing, if that makes any sense. Like the same mental space. And yeah, I was nervous. I don't know. I just tried to, honestly can't even remember exactly how I felt at that moment. I just remember I was nervous and I just went out there and yeah, that's a good question. I don't even really exactly remember. I just remember I was just very nervous and
Yeah, that's understandable. How has your discipline with wrestling helped with your transition to MMA? Because to be a collegiate wrestler, like that's discipline. Because I know the work you guys gonna put in, and
oh
that's
yeah.
no joke.
Oh yeah, that's I just remember yeah, so one thing that my coach said it when I was wrestling in college that really stuck with me was the days that you don't feel like doing it the most and you're just like beat down, that's when that day matters the most that you do well, you know? Because it's almost like proving it to yourself that if you can do it that day, then you can obviously do it on your best day. Because anybody can really do it on your best day if you think about it, you know, you're feeling
Yeah,
great, you know, everything feels in tune, it feels right, your headspace is good, your body feels snappy, you know,
yeah,
it feels at its best, you know, anybody can do that, you know. But it's when you know, you just finish your shift and you're just, you know, it's a hard spar day and you're just beat down already. You have to, you know, you have to go in there thinking like you're not just gonna be a punching bag, you know. You're like,
yeah,
like I'm just gonna take it easy today. I'll take a couple, you know. But it's like no, it's like no, I'm gonna win every round, you know. And that's kind of how that's one thing that really helped. And um you know, my coach would always say he was like this Midwest guy, wrestled in D2 and competed in the NCAA D1 tournament.
Oh
But
wow.
yeah, yeah, he back in the day you could if you won nationals at D2, you could compete in D1. You could I
Oh
think you could
wow.
like fish chillin or something like that. But he'd always come in and he'd be like, "Okay, guys, today we're gonna do it anyway." He had this like, you tired, man? You do it anyway, man." And he had this like little ring to his voice, you know, but do it anyway, you know. He's like, "I don't care, man. You study for 5 hours, you come in, you do it anyway," you know. And so that do it anyway thing too kind of stuck with me, you know. And
Oh.
I could always remember how he said it too, you know. And that's one thing that always stuck with me. And yeah, I came in and it's, you know, because there's gonna be a decent amount of days, especially if you work full time, you know,
Yeah.
or you put in more than full time, you're gonna be tired, man. You're gonna be tired, and a lot of people don't realize that, you know. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's some things that I took away.
That's super cool. I definitely can agree to that, and I would imagine when you're done with those training sessions, it feels a lot better because you know you mentally had to push through. I'm the same. Like the
Yeah.
days I go to gym now, and oh, sometimes I just don't want to go, and I
Oh
force
yeah.
myself and I push myself even harder. And then when I'm taking a shower before leaving, it's like, oh, yup, I did that.
Yeah.
And it feels better. And then like you
Yeah.
feel way more refreshed and charged. And knowing you
Yeah.
conquered tiredness is a strong mental thing. And a lot of people, it's easier to make excuses than to put in the work. And I always prided myself on like, okay, this is gonna be the day. I'm not feeling it. Now I gotta dig. And for me, it's been that way so I could teach my daughter the same things. Like, oh, you don't feel like going practice. And she said, nope, I'm gonna go. And it's that kind of mentality, like you said, stuck with you through your fighting career, but I guarantee it's sticking with you through your studies at school, going to work, and when it's tough moments in your life, it's like, okay, I dig my feet in the mud, let's go. And that's that's something wrestlers are built with if you're about that life.
Yeah. And it's funny that you say that, you know, it's like you just Yeah, you just have to apply it to everything that you do, because I've met guys that with wrestling, they can do it so easily. It's such a physical thing and they're natural at it, right? But
Yeah.
when it came to school, they were just like, "No, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it." You
That's
know?
usually the case. It's either or. You're either gonna be an athlete or a scholar. It's hard to do
Yeah.
both.
And yeah, but I've seen guys, they're like they do both like really well, and I've seen
Yeah.
I've seen all ends of it, and you can either I've heard this it's like a saying, it's you can deal with the pain of discipline or the pain of regret, you know?
Ah, that's a good one. I'm
Yeah,
gonna have to
because you
highlight that.
yeah, yeah, because I mean, it's true though, like, how many times in your life, right? Everybody has a time where they're just like, "Oh, man, I can't believe I waited this long," or, "I can't
Yeah.
believe I put it off," or, "I should have done this, I should have done that," and it's just like, "Yeah, you should have."
Yeah.
You know? Yeah,
That's
yeah, and then, you know?
okay. I want to take this short break from talking to Nate and shout out our sponsor. First off, we have Defend Hawaii. They've been our sponsors from day one, and right now they have a new spring drop that just launched. If you go to their website, defendhawaii.com, and go take a look at the new stuff they have out. They also have a store in Winter Mall called No One. But if you do go to their website, defendhawaii.com, use promo code ATBPod upon checkout, you'll get 15% off your entire purchase. Defendhawaii.com. Let them know Above the Bridge podcast sent you. Aloha. You seem to have a strong you seem to have a lot of mental strength, and that obviously comes with wrestling and fighting MMA, but I
Yeah,
like that phrase. You could
yeah,
either have the pain of discipline or the pain of regret.
yeah,
I'm gonna tell my daughter that. That's gonna be
yeah,
good when
yeah,
she don't
that's
like,
right,
yeah.
that's right. Pass it on,
Yo,
man.
for sure.
Yeah, the mental toughness comes from wrestling, fighting, and having an Asian mom.
Oh yeah, you don't have options with that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, she's like, "Yeah, you're gonna do it anyway."
yeah.
It's like, "What?" She pulls out the back scratcher. "What? What?
Oh yeah.
Wow,
Oh.
what grade did you get in class?" Like, "Oh,
That's so
okay."
funny. I just had the back scratcher and I was telling my daughter, "You see I whack with this. You've never got whack with one of these. Now you get whack with anything,
Yeah.
your kids can call the cops on you."
Yep, I know, I've heard of it happen before too, it's crazy.
Yeah. I'd be afraid to call the cops on my dad. It'd be just
Yeah,
like,
no
"He
way.
gonna get out eventually and then you're gonna die."
Gonna have to face the music, man. You're
Yeah.
gonna have to face the music. And ours had, like, a hole drilled in it, so it swang faster.
Oh, had less wind resistance, had that
Yeah,
pop.
yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah,
like a switch.
yeah. I mean, at least I think I only got the hanger, like, once. At least I never got the hanger. I feel like
Oh.
that's worse, you
Oh,
know?
I would get the belt, bro. The belt.
Oh, see, that's way worse.
Oh, yeah. I
That's
used to
way
try to wear
worse.
extra Beverly's when I was, yeah, there's no way around it, bro.
No, no. I put
Yeah.
cardboard in there or something.
Yo.
Grab the Aloha juice, the ones that it comes in the
Oh,
cardboard.
yo. Wear your football girdle or something.
Yeah, no, not working. None of that.
Yeah. So fighting in MMA, how long have you did it? Like from when you started to kind of now that you're not as competing?
Um, so I started actually training in like the UFC gym in Cali. I would say around 2015,
Okay.
and then my last fight was 2019, the Bellator one, and
Oh,
I
that's
had
right.
one planned after, and then that fell through, and COVID happened immediately after that in
Oh,
2020. So it's yeah, it took a I wasn't planning on not fighting anymore after that. It just everything kind of fell into place the way it did with COVID, and then I met my girlfriend, and then I started working more overtime, started going back to school, and then that left time for absolutely nothing else.
yeah.
But I started working evening shifts. So I used to be working a morning shift, and this guy with higher seniority bumped me to evening. So I had to start. He wanted evening shifts, so I had to go evening, and everyone trains in the evening, right? So
Yeah.
that happened, and then I started working overnights too, so I
Oh.
would work like 16 hours. Yeah, and I'd go to school in the morning time, so yeah, it's
Well,
full
life
schedule.
happens, but
Yeah.
we'll get into your what you got going on now. I wanted to just talk more about MMA stuff for a little bit
Yeah,
more. What was like your toughest fight if you can recall?
mm,
Like, what was your
it
toughest moment in a fight?
huh. Well, toughest moment probably was the time I got rocked that first time, the Bellator fight. But I prior to that, I was fighting this guy I used to train with, Christian, and I remember we're kind of keeping like a really high pace the whole fight, you know? And then I remember just being gassed, you know? And I was so gassed, but then I was just like, okay, I got to stay a little active, you know? And that was tough because as even as hard as you train, you know, like if you're going full speed for and amateur fights are like 9 minutes.
Yeah,
By the last round, I'd say like a minute and a half in. So that last minute and a half, I was like so gassed, you know. But I was trying not to look at the clock either, you know. So I was trying to
yeah,
stay focused and just fighting through that fatigue. I felt like everything was kind of moving in slower motion, you know, because trying to keep up with that. But when I got rocked the first time when I was fighting in Bellator versus Chaz, I remember I didn't think I would get rocked. I thought I'm I never did.
nobody does.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then like I started doing like the happy feet, the stanky leg, you know?
Oh, that's the yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But it's weird though. At the time, I didn't think it was gonna be my even when I was rocked, I wasn't thinking of it as my hardest moment, you know? It was
Yeah.
more just like trying to fight through that, you know? And um I was trying to figure out how to get my feet back under me, but I was still kind of dazed. And then I remember I kind of came in for like a shot or a body lock, and then he put me on the cage, and I don't even remember what I was doing with my hands, but obviously I wasn't sealing them off. And he caught me with an elbow, but at the time I didn't even know what it was that he hit me with. So like
Oh,
I tried to when I got caught with it, I felt myself get hit, and I tried to run, get some space, and then square back up. And then I tried to throw a little bit, got caught again, got put on the cage, didn't seal off the hands again, and then got put down. So I think that was like my hardest moment because I just never was in that. Even in training, I wasn't in a space where I got caught like that, you know?
oh wow.
Uh, yeah, yeah, or like, you know, rocked like that, you know?
Yeah.
I've been dropping like body shots during
Oh,
training.
that's the worst, bro. I'd rather get hit in the head than a body. A body shots will ruin your
That's what
whole
I tell
weekend.
people. That's what I tell people because
Yeah.
you know, if you get knocked out, you don't even feel it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, but like a body shot, you have to go through that pain, you
Yo,
know?
and you're conscious. Like you
Yeah, yeah,
know you're hurt and you can't do nothing. Yeah.
yeah.
I take
Oh,
a headshot over a body shot all day.
same, same. And
Yeah.
I remember Kanan, you know Kanan, right?
Yeah, yeah. He's about to
I was like,
fight
yeah, yeah, he's actually fighting tomorrow.
tomorrow. Yeah, for a belt. Tough
Yeah,
belt, right?
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. I was he would honestly he'll go easy on me because he would just like piece me up if he's special for sure. But
Yeah.
I was like moving around with him and I was just like, I remember telling him like, "You're going easy, like go harder," you know. And then I remember trying to throw a straight, and he's a southpaw, right? So his
Yeah.
power side is on the same side as my power. When I threw the straight, he just threw like a body kick, and it landed so clean, like right on
That's
my
the
leg.
counter. That's the
Yeah,
counter to the straight is the
yeah, yeah.
back leg round kick to the body. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was, like, so fast too, and, I remember it caught me
Oh.
so clean, and it was probably, like, 2 weeks before my fight. Not the Bellator one, it was before another fight, and he just dropped me, and I don't know if you ever seen the grape stomp lady fell, and she's, like, on the ground, and she's like, "Oh, oh, oh,
Oh,
oh,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
oh." I was
I
like, "Ooh, ooh."
Yo,
I was making all kinda noises, you know, and he was like, "Oh my." He kinda, like, was, like, like, freaked out. He's like, "Oh, are you okay?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah, I just got." And I was like, "Yeah, I just got the weight knocked out of me."
yeah.
I
And
was
you're
okay.
when you get the wind knocked out, you're so trying to suck air back in, but they always tell you like blow out, but it's hard to
Yeah,
do it when you're going through it.
yeah. I mean, it's kinda hard to even breathe back in though, it
Yeah,
really is because you
definitely.
can breathe out easy, but you can't breathe back in, it's like
Yeah.
it's
And
like
you're
you're like
just weathering the storm, waiting for it to be
mhm,
done. Yeah, I
yeah,
hate body shots, man.
yeah, and it's like when right after you recover from it, you're just, like, exhausted because 'cause you're just like,
Yeah,
"Oh, thank
yeah.
God," you're just, like, laying there for a sec.
Yeah, I'm definitely don't miss that.
Yeah.
But that shows that you had mental toughness. I always wanted to I always ask this when I have fighters on, like, what do you think, in your opinion, is strong, like a more better attribute to have, like mental toughness or physical talent? Like
Mm,
what do you think? Like I know physical talent is always good, and they always say um if your like work ethic can beat physicality, but
mhm.
sometimes you fight people with both, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that's tough, yeah. I
Yeah.
think, I think mental toughness for sure. Um, Mental toughness with an iron chin, I think
Yeah.
that's like, because that's like you're just indestructible. You have a tough mind, and no matter how much you get whacked, you just keep coming forward. You know,
Yeah.
because I think that you can have all the talent in the world, but if you have no drive and nothing pushing you forward, because I've seen it time and time again with people, even with any sport, they're so talented, but they just don't have the heart for it, and I think there's certain skills that can be learned with a lot of perseverance and time and training,
Yeah.
but you can be really naturally talented, but if if you don't want to put in the work and you don't want to, and when it comes down to being gritty and you can't get down, because sometimes it's going to be, I mean, you've seen fights, it turns into a whole slugfest,
Yeah.
and if you don't have that mental toughness, then what good is your talent, you know?
Yeah. I love that. I'm actually um dealing with something similar to that with my daughter's volleyball team. She has a teammate who is by far one of the most giftedest athletes I have seen, a female, in whatever she does. And she's lazy and don't put in the work. And for me, that's my pet peeve. Like when we were training kids for Taekwondo and kickboxing, I hated those kids. At least we
Mhm.
had the benefit of pitting them to spar somebody that would
Yeah.
light them up, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And teach them a lesson. Now,
Yeah.
like with her playing volleyball, we can't do that, or like her
Yeah.
coaches can't do that. But it's sad because I can see the potential, and it's like, oh, this girl could be D1. Like she just gifted everything she does. She plays football, flag football, volleyball, like just amazing. But
Mm.
lazy, doesn't put in the work, doesn't like come to practice. And when
Oh,
she
man.
get to a certain level, you're gonna be on the same playing field as a lot of talented athletes. There's a lot of talented athletes in this country, and when it comes down to it, is gonna be who put in the work, who has that mental toughness. And
Oh, for sure.
I'm super bummed to see it. And I just was talking about it with some of my friends, and it's like, oh man, this person could be like it, like she could be
Yeah, yeah,
it, and she won't be because
yeah.
like
I that
laziness is a choice. Yeah,
Oh, yeah, for sure,
yeah,
It's like if you're willing to put in those extra days, and they all stack up, you know?
yeah,
It's kinda I've seen that too, like, I don't view myself as anybody that had any type of, there's some degree of athleticism, but not like just gifted.
yeah, yeah,
I've seen
same.
guys that are gifted, and
Yeah,
I've seen that too with like, remember those old school, now to me it's old school, but these football players when I was a kid, they're at Castle. It's like
yeah,
they were just so good.
yeah,
And even when I was in school, there was guys that were just so good. And I think they could have made it on a D1 level, but they got island fever and they got caught up in the local life, and
yep. I
partying and
know
doing
it.
all this stuff, and they didn't direct themselves towards something that probably could have got them somewhere.
Yeah. And then they peak at high school, and
Yeah,
yeah, and then they get all fat. And I
yeah,
swear
yeah,
to God, I see a couple of my classmates, I'm not even gonna mention names, that
yeah.
were
I'm just
like the ringers in high school,
yeah, yeah,
and I barely made it on the team. And oh,
yeah.
and I see them now, and I was like, oh. I could just run a rings around you
Yeah,
now. Like,
yeah,
what happened? Like,
yeah,
you were the man who had all the girls, all
yeah,
the Scott, like just the man, and now it's like, fuck, I'm the man now. Nah,
yeah,
nah.
yeah. It's like life doesn't end at high school, man. Keep
Yeah,
going.
yep, yep.
Yeah.
And I guess that goes for the best because it gave me a drive. You know what I mean? I had to work
Mm.
for everything I ever got,
No,
and
exactly.
I'm. I feel like it would happen with you too, and
Yeah.
okay, let's take a break. I want to shout out our sponsor, iRip Detail Supply. They're your one stop shop superstore for everything you need to detail whatever vehicle you have. They have two stores open right now, and they're set to open a new one on the west side. They have one at Temple Valley Shopping Center, also one in Las Vegas. And if you go to their website, iRep Detail Supply, and use uh, promo code ATB Pot upon checkout, you'll get 15% off your entire purchase. Go to their store, go talk to the employees there. They're highly knowledgeable about their products and how to use them, and they're so friendly. iripdetailsupply.com. Aloha. As a fighter and like you're a smaller dude, have you been tested outside? Like, oh, what you think you're a fighter or you think you bad, like that kind of stuff. Have you been tested outside in like the bar or at a club
Um,
or on the streets or something like that?
yeah, but not because they asked if I was like a fighter or nothing. I don't really talk about it unless people like come to me and talk about it. Like they specifically bring it up. But then
Yeah,
because usually if I'm out partying and stuff, like I'm just like having a good time going around talking to
definitely.
everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I'm a happy drunk. Thank
Yes,
God.
you are.
I'm a happy drunk. I'm
Yeah.
I'm loud, but I'm happy, But I'll go. It's mainly like super drunk people, or and they see like my size and they think I'm an easier fight, you
Yes,
know,
I know that feeling. Yeah.
or and I'm not gonna lie, like if someone comes up to me and they kind of start like they're like, what you think you bad? I'm kind of in a way an instigator because I just start acting dumb. I'm like, bad what? Like, oh yeah, dumb. Oh dumb what?
So you're a
Like I just
provoker.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But I'm just because in my head I'm thinking it's just like it's so ridiculous, Like I'm just gonna be
Yeah.
ridiculous back. But
Yes.
even though I could just be like, "Oh, no, I don't want problems," like, now I'm
Yeah.
more like that because especially when I go out with my lady too, right? Like, I don't want
Yeah.
no problems, right? Because I don't wanna deal with none of that, but, like,
Yeah.
before when it was just, like, me and my brother, we go out or me and my friends, I'm just like, "I don't care,"
Oh yeah,
like,
your brother.
"If you wanna
Yeah.
do it, man," like, but now I'm like, "Okay." Before I used to run to fights to watch. Now if I see a fight, I'm just like, "'Kay, I'll see you guys later. I'm
Yep,
out here."
that way. I
Yeah.
forgot your brother used to go out a lot. He used to come to a lot of our events. He's a chef,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah,
Or
yeah, yeah.
cook. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Super
he was the
funny.
party guy too. He
Yep.
was definitely he was more of a party guy than me, you know?
Yeah. I used to think it was you half the time.
Yeah, we have the same face, it's
Yep.
crazy. Like
Yep.
the stereotypical Asian brothers, they have the same face. It's
Yo.
all my friends that, like, I met from work and outside, they meet my brother and they're like, "You guys look exactly alike. He just has, like, a skinnier frame and is a little taller?"
Yo, it's your ears that I can tell the difference now.
Yeah, yeah, the ears and then the tattoo now.
Yeah. Yeah. At first I thought you guys are twins.
Yeah, and I have a twin, right?
Yeah, yep, yep, but I thought he was your twin.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So now what's crazy is, I mean, me and my twin brother, we have like a pretty similar face, but more of our body structure is the same. Our bodies are built the same, but my face looks more like my older brother's, which is
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah, it's crazy. It's weird how I'm like a combination between them two. I'm right in the middle.
Yep.
Uh,
That's funny.
yeah.
Well, you transition out from, fighting, and for me, when I stopped doing martial arts, I had a not an identity crisis, but I had a issue. I was not scared, but I was confused to how things are gonna be, and it took a while, and I felt like that was my identity. This was Thaddeus, was this
Hmm.
guy who competed, and this was all I was. And then I realized it wasn't. It was what I did. And I had a hard time kind of coming to terms with a bunch of it and navigating through that transition. Did that kind of happen for you, or was like easy?
Um, the hard the hard part was not training as much, but for
Yeah.
me, that was like a hard part for me because whether I fought in the ring or not, I always just wanted to be there. I wanted to train more than anything, and I spent my whole life just being active from playing ASO soccer all the way at like, from the moment you could join, I was there and played baseball, basketball, football, and active my whole life, and then weight training from like freshman year in high school, barely missing any days, never missing more than 2 days really, all the way
Yeah.
throughout my whole career. Besides when I got injured, those are different times. But yeah, just having to stop that and just work mainly and go to school and not make time for training or have any time for training because I'm prioritizing something different, right?
Yeah.
So that was like the hardest part because it was just like I felt like I wasn't pushing myself physically to be the best I could be.
Mm.
And not having that shape was what bothered me the most, because
Yeah.
fighting, what I saw it as just like fighting was just something I did, like how you said you came
Yeah.
to terms with that, right? I kind of already was in that mindset from even when I was fighting. I didn't really want to take on the whole persona of like, "Oh, I'm this fighter. I'm a
Yeah.
fighter." And I didn't really like telling people that, like I didn't even really I just didn't because I felt like I was just putting myself in a position when I said if I did say that like this is gonna be my career. I'm going all the way to the UFC. Like that wasn't even really I didn't even plan on going to fighting in Bellator. I didn't even plan on fighting to begin with. I didn't even
Yeah.
plan all of those things. It was just something that kind of happened. But I always did it just because of that's just what I wanted to do at the time.
Yeah.
And when I started winning my amateur fights and stuff, and I was like, oh, maybe I can like go fight overseas. Maybe I can do this. Maybe I should do it. But it wasn't something that I full on took on as like an identity. It
That's
was just some
awesome.
yeah, and I just didn't. And also too, you're almost building up this expectation of like I never committed myself. Besides, like if I knew I was gonna fight, I was gonna commit to that, right? I'll do everything I can that I possibly could to be the best I could be on fight day, right? I'm gonna
Yeah.
commit to that. But career wise, I would never commit to it.
Okay.
Like it, because I think like career wise, like I was gonna be in the UFC or I'm gonna be this prize fighter. And I believe that a lot of people can do that, if they really wanted to. Like who's to say you couldn't do it? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I mean, I think if anybody takes it on fully, like I believe they can do it, right? But and if I really wanted to and I was serious about it, I probably would have went to Vegas to Extreme Couture because a bunch of Hawaii guys did that, and look at all of them. They
Yeah.
immersed themselves in it completely. They put all they went all in with their chips, and I was thinking of that to myself at the time when I was fighting. I was like, if I really want to do this as a career, that's something that I would have to do like now, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
you know, and I even have had thoughts of just like, yeah, I'm just gonna move to Thailand for like a year and I'm just gonna do Muay Thai. I really want, and honestly, that was when Tiger Muay Thai was getting like bigger.
Oh
And
yeah.
you'd see stuff on social media, and then it's like the pad holders are like whacking them back, and I'm like, I want to do that. Like I was thinking about that, and they're just like all beat down, and I'm like, I need that. I was thinking that, but yeah, I had a whole bunch. I had student loans, and I was like, I that was the thing that was kind of lingering that I had to take care of, where I couldn't where in my head I told myself I can't I have to prioritize the student loans, and yeah, but to get back to your question was about when I stopped fighting, it wasn't um it wasn't too difficult for me in terms of like that was my identity, but more about just having to stop the whole physical thing in general, like expanding the lungs, getting the
Yeah.
adrenaline pumping, rolling on the mat, hitting a bag. I miss those things, and I really do. And
Mm.
I wish that there was more time in a day that I could set aside to do those things, because, working 16 hours a day, you're done. You just want to go home,
Yeah.
shower, sleep, and then you get up and you bang out another 16-hour shift. And it's like, you really don't really have time for anything. And on my shift, I'm doing homework, yeah, it's tough. Yeah.
Yeah.
I miss all that. I really do. Yeah.
Well, that makes a lot of sense of your identity as just a person because you never and we when we were working those Destiny fights, we
Mm,
seen all of them, right? They all had to
mm,
come and get their songs and all that. He's
yeah.
always super humble, like super cool, super chill. And me and Hoppo was like your biggest fans. Like we were like always like, let's go. Like and
Thank you.
it just shown in the person you are. And then we come across all those like, oh yeah, I'm this guy, and oh yeah, I won 3 fights in a row. And it's like, bruh, like
I
and then
was
we're
like,
cheering for the other guy, you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
Like
I remember too, like, I remember too when I first started fighting too. I almost didn't even want to post like the weigh-in pictures.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
I felt kind of shame because I didn't want to be like the local boy, that's like, oh look at me, I fight
Yep.
MMA, they're
Tomorrow
just
gonna bang.
yeah,
Tomorrow we
yeah.
gonna bang. Yeah.
It's like, bro, you're an amateur fighter. Relax, It's like
Yeah.
you're not even on the big leagues yet. But I
Yeah.
mean, everyone's got to start somewhere, right? But I just didn't want to come off as that person that's like, hey, look at me, I'm fighting, because it's like I never did it for anybody else.
Yeah.
I always did it
Yep.
because I wanted to do it, and I just wanted to better myself, and you know, yeah. And some people, they do it because they want this big image of who they are, because I mean being a fighter and fighting is, it's a pretty cool thing in general.
Yeah. Yeah.
And some people just want to flex with that, but I never wanted to be that guy too. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's
I
part
can
of it.
agree. You never came across that way. And okay, guys, let's take a small moment to shout out our sponsors, Medicinal Mushrooms Hawaii. They are a locally based medicinal mushroom company, and they have 5 tinctures of extracted mushrooms. They have lion's mane, chaga, turkey tail, red reishi, and cordyceps. And if you go on their website, medmushroomhigh.com, they will explain to you exactly what each one of these mushrooms do. I take all 5 religiously every single day. I've been extremely happy with the benefits it's been giving to me. And if you go to their website, medmushroomhigh.com, figure out what mushrooms you want or go get all 5. If you use promo code ATB Potapon, check out all capital letters, you will get 45% off. So medmushroomhigh.com, let them know Above the Ridge podcast sent you. Aloha. Transitioning into what you're doing now, what exactly do you do now?
Um, so right now I'm a psych tech, a psychiatric tech. That's like the label for it at the Hawaii State Hospital. And so what that is we basically it's kind of like, I would just call it a glorified security guard. We basically watch the patients. We work directly with the patients on the floor. And then they have to do stuff like each unit has their own schedule and agendas that they run, but the floor that I'm on, I just basically make sure they're all showering, and we hand out their meals and stuff, and just basically like ADLs, like activities of daily living, make sure they're showing up to their classes, make sure they're doing their laundry, and if they're fighting, we have to break it up, and
Yeah.
and it's it's pretty common where they it's like basically walking down Chinatown, where you see people they're like going through something in their head, there's some kind of chemical imbalance, and they're either, and it's not an easy place for them to be either. They're in a
Yeah.
controlled environment. They're around other unstable people, right? So yeah, you definitely have to be good with your words at times too, like verbal de-escalation, right? So you have to be able to like be able to listen to them, understand them, try to communicate, and communicate as best as you can. And, you have to lay down the rules. You have to be firm with it, but also, a little bit in a way, there's compromises sometimes, that you have to make
Yeah.
with talking to people that really don't even use logic sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's difficult sometimes, but I mean, going there to me I work basically every day. Like I work
Yeah.
every day. I rarely take days off. So the night you saw me, that was the first night I took off in like like 50 days. I worked
Yeah,
like
that's what you were
2 days straight.
saying. You're like, just
Yeah.
no wonder you went hard.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I wasn't planning on it, but I just seen all the boys, you know what I mean? I had to
Yeah, yeah,
they're like, "You take a shot." I was like, "Yeah, we do shots," you know?
yeah,
And I was just so
yeah. You
dazed.
got me to do two.
I didn't even remember doing 2, you know? I thought we did 1.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
and of course, like, I tried to drink like how I did when I was, like, in my 20s, and then my
oh, that
body
next
was
morning must have been rough, cause
dude, I was down, and I'm not one and I had the day off, and I usually go in on my day off, but I was just like, "I can't do it today." I was
sitting this one out.
yeah, I felt my age for sure, you know, I felt my age, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that
That was fun.
working in the psych units must be hard. I have been in working in psych units, and I've dealt with people like that, especially at Queens. I would have to do blood draws in Coachella and
Oh my gosh.
try poking needles in these guys, bro. It's not the
Yeah,
funnest thing in the world.
no.
And
No,
oh
it's not.
man, yeah, I had shit thrown at literally shit thrown at me where I'm like, oh, what is that? Like that's doo doo. Like,
That happened to me too. I got
yeah.
that shit actually hit my hand. It was
Oh,
crazy. Yeah, I wanted to basically like get a new hand after. It was pretty
yeah.
gross. Yeah, I got shit thrown. I've got piss thrown at me.
Oh,
I've
I
been
got
spit on.
false. Yeah,
Yeah, I got false too. Yeah, multiple times, man.
yeah,
Yeah, and you just have to show some form of restraint. You know, you can't.
yeah,
If I, if you retaliate, you're not gonna keep your job.
yeah.
Like,
And that's mental toughness. That's what you have, right? But it
yeah,
wasn't easy. Yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Like, oh man, it's like I just want to batter this guy after he just like full on side blinds me. You know, I'm just like,
Yeah, yeah,
oh, like
yeah.
it's like that. You know, you got to show some restraint. You know, some professionalism. You know,
Yeah.
and some you know sometimes I'm surprised. Like even when I get hit, like I don't even. It's like I don't even take it personally. Sometimes it's crazy. Like I just like tackle him, hold him down, put him in a chair, and then it's like
Yeah.
done. And then I'm just like, they're like, you good? I'm like, yeah, you know. But it's like sometimes I shock myself. I'm like, "Oh, I'm surprised I'm not mad about that," you know?
That's cool. Like,
Yeah.
and I guess you have the skill to do it. I guarantee some of these guys that try to test you don't know. Well, they're not all there, but
Yeah.
like you might come across as an easier target than some big Samoan guy that's working with you guys or
Oh,
something like
yeah,
that.
for sure. I mean, I'm pretty fortunate, like, for how much patients that I deal with, like, that get discharged and come through, like, a lot of them generally like, they test me and stuff, like, they don't listen or they'll kinda, like, eye me out, but, like, I don't get charged as often, knock on wood. I don't get I don't get charged as often, you know, but I had another guy the other day, maybe like a couple of days ago, call me a little bitch, and I was just like, "Oh, okay, all right," you know, like, how you tell me how you really feel, you know? You know, I was just like, "What's that to you?" You know? And he's like, "I'm
Yeah.
just saying, I'd hook you, then uppercut you," and I was like, "Hey, man, do what you need to do. I just said do what you do, man," and he didn't do anything, and I was like, "Okay," you know? I was getting ready too. I was like, "Oh, is this guy gonna whack me or what?" You know? I
I
thought he
know
was
sometimes you gotta get ready. I walked into Coachella one time. I had my tray of needles and tubes or whatnot, and they have like it's double doors, and then you walk in. There's like a common area, like a living room, hypothetically, and across there's this guy, and he looked like Eddie Munster, and he looked at me, and he just broke down and was just eyeing me down. I'm just standing there. I'm like, okay, what is he gonna do?
Yeah, yeah.
And I was thinking, like, okay, if he comes at me, he's gonna get this tray to his head. I was young too. I'm just like, I don't know what this guy's gonna do. And fortunately, he didn't do anything. But
Yeah, yeah.
I was, but I seen some crazy stuff too. And I remember I was working as a CNA at Aloha Healthcare, and they had a guy there who used to box, and he is older and had dementia. And I'm like, kinda helping him put his shoes on, and all of a sudden he got all frustrated, and he started,
Mhm.
like, moving his feet and kinda pushed me away. I was like, "Oh, I gotta put your shoes on." And then he's like, "Okay, I surrender." I said, okay. And I started to put his shoes on and I let my attention go and he just straight bat me right in my forehead as hard as he could. I was like, oh, like, oh, I didn't know what. I had a lump on my head. I was so mad and I didn't do
Yeah,
anything back because I didn't want to
yeah.
get in trouble. But,
He
oh,
played
bro,
possum on you, man. He
yeah.
like I'm
I gotta admit, I took away his dessert that night fucking pretty quick. Like, oh, you done with that? And I just
yeah.
took it.
Did he take do you guys have chairs for them over do you know if they have chairs for them in
Yeah,
the
yep.
so he went in the chair and stuff or
Yeah, and they restrained him and that
yeah.
kind of stuff, but, oh, he caught me a mean one, like, not even paying attention because he went, "I surrender." I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
started to
yeah.
put his shoes on, I was like, tying it and not even paying attention to him,
Yeah.
and he cranked me one mean one, like,
Bruh,
I don't
oh,
lump on it, yeah,
you
and he used
always
to
have to
box.
admit hey,
Bro,
that's
these
a
old guys can bang too, you know what I mean?
no, it's right, especially if they're a boxer, like, the
Yeah,
amount of, like, power they can generate in such a little space is, like, crazy, you
yeah.
know? I've actually that so it's I have, like, a similar experience, but I wasn't the one getting decked, so it's
Oh,
yeah, so I was we're this was when, like, COVID happened, I was in, like, a quarantine unit, this guy didn't have COVID, but I was one-to-one with him because he was, like, assaultive towards, women,
oh,
and he was, like, all strung out, like he was gone. They were like, he ain't coming back, kinda gone. But
yeah.
he was I heard he was a boxer too, and he was just talking bubbles the whole time. And then he had like a cut on his arm. I think he was trying to like scrape it or something, but the nurse needed to change it. So I went in there with her and she was he was we told him to lay down on the bed. So he's on the bed like over here and then me and the nurse are like right here. And so while she's changing the bandage, I'm holding one arm, but I'm not holding the far arm. I'm just like, keeping it chill, relaxing. And she's just like looking down like "Doo, doo, 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 doo," like nothing, and he just kind of like sits up really slow, like pretty calmly. And I'm just like looking at him and he's just like staring. I'm like, what's this guy gonna do? And then he like so fast, he from here he just goes wham, just like punches, full on swings, and he punching the nurse. And I tried to like catch his hand, but it went like right past my hand and clocked her square on the forehead. It's it was so hard. It was so hard. Like that sound that knuckles make when they connect.
Yeah,
It's like
pop.
that.
Yeah.
Wow. And she just is like, "Ah," and she, like, ran out, and I grabbed him, and I, like, put him on the bed, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" And he was just he literally said, "Oh, the string on the ground, the string on the ground," and I'm like, "Bro,
Oh,
what?" Yeah,
alright.
and then, like so I was just and then, yeah, the whole cold went off, we had to put him in and what the craziest part about that was, like, after he did it, he didn't even fight after. He just lit I kinda put him on the bed hard because I thought he was gonna fight,
Yeah.
and, he didn't even fight. He just, like, laid there, so I kinda let off, I was just kinda keeping my hands on him. I was like, "Just chill here, relax." And they brought the chair in, and they're like, "Are you gonna get in the chair calmly?" And he's like, "Yeah." They're like, "'Kay, do it." Just gets up like nothing, just goes there, sits in
Oh,
the chair, we strap him in. It was crazy. I was tripping out. I was like, "No freaking way that just happened, man."
it's
Just
wild.
yeah, just, like, full on heavy assault to just like nothing, you know?
That's crazy. I had the weirdest thing ever. I never talked about this on air before, but, I was called into the psych, uh, unit in the ER at Queens to draw somebody's blood, and I get down there, and they have the ER techs there, and they're holding this guy down, and I gotta poke a needle in his vein and get his blood. And this guy's going off and he's looking at me and he's like, "You can't take my blood. Jesus said you can't take my blood." And like he's going off, yelling at me. And in my head, I'm like, "Okay, guy, watch this. I got
Yeah.
this." And I put the tourniquet on, and he had this fat vein. And then I put the needle in and I put the tube in to extract it, and the no blood's coming out. And he's going, "I told you, God said you can't have my blood." And I'm just like, I used to pride myself a little cockiness that I
Uh,
don't miss. I don't miss the vein. That's my
yeah.
And
Yeah.
and the ER techs are giving me shit. Like, come on, fam. Like, what, bro? I thought you was the man. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm in the vein. Maybe it's a faulty tube or something. So
Yeah.
then I took off the tourniquet, like got him good, and then I tried his other arm. Same thing, fat vein. I put the tourniquet, and he's same thing. You can't take my blood. God says you can't have it. And I put the tourniquet on. I put the needle in. I pushed the tube. Nothing. And then he just got calm and he looked at me and nothing's happening. And he goes, brother, you can have my blood. And right when he said that, the tube started filling and I was, fuck this. I got the blood. I put it in they have a pneumatic tube system. I shot it up to the lab. I'm like, I'm not dealing with that. You deal with that.
Yeah.
That was one of the first
Uh,
times I ever got freaked out. Like,
that's
and he looked me in the eye and he said, "Brother, you can have my blood." And right when he said, and there is 0% chance you can control your blood from flowing.
yeah.
And those tubes are vacuum sealed, so they suck it.
Hey, until that day, you didn't know that.
Yeah, I don't know. That was some wild. Yeah, that got me freaked out. Like I had to go outside and just
Yeah. I
and
need
the
a break.
ER techs too, because they seen it. So they were with me and they're like, what the hell was that? I'm like, bro, get this blood out of here. Like,
Yeah.
this is some devil shit.
Yeah. Bro, that's insane.
Yeah.
That'd be like a crazy experience.
Yeah.
It would have me questioning myself after, like, is that really possible? Like, how you gonna
Yeah.
learn how to do that? You know?
That's wild, bro. But
Uh,
yeah, that happened to me. But to get back
that's
to you, so you're a tech and you're going to school. What are you going to school for?
So I'm trying to get my nursing license right now. So
Nice.
I'm not actually in nursing school yet, but I'm finishing up my prereqs. So I've been doing the
Nice.
prereqs for part time for about 3 years. So I'm slowly knocking them out, and um, I went to college before, yeah. So
Yeah.
and I got my degree, but my GPA was kind of trash. It's like a 2.9 or something like that. So I'm trying to just redo classes, trying to keep. I'm just doing a little bit at a time, but trying to get good grades. So,
Yeah.
that's the hard part, right? Is like you can get like C's are easy, you know, but to actually get like an A, you need to be on it, It's
Yeah.
usually because I was the type of guy I would shoot for A's and always get B's, and I'm like, what the heck? But now, but now it's at like a do or die kind of thing. Like I need to do it. Like I need to. There's no excuse. You just do it, like all that matters is the result. Like you just put it in, and put in the work and get an A. So I've been doing that for 3 years, going for my nursing license, and then I'm basically almost done. I think I need like one or two more classes. So for certain programs, I need one or two more classes, but for the KCC program, I have all my classes. So, but
Oh, nice.
yeah, so I'm gonna try apply to that one within the next year, and then if not, just go like the more expensive route, HBU or Chaminade, or
Yeah.
or maybe even UH, or kind of play on my options,
Yeah.
like anything to get it done, you know,
Yep.
even if it's more expensive, just quicker I can get it done, the better, just move forward with my career.
That's
Yeah.
super awesome to hear. And you're taking it with a fighter mentality where
Yeah.
this is the only option. I'm gonna work for it. And
Yeah.
that's the same thing. What we talked about earlier. It's the same mindset you had when you were fighting that you're applying to get this goal. And um
Yeah.
you seem very happy. Like just
I
talking
am.
to you or when I see you at the gym, like you seem happy, you seem like you're doing well and you're reaching your goals, which isn't easy to do. And a lot of people give up trying along the way, especially local people. Sometimes they don't follow through with their goals. And I
Hmm.
hate to say it and give
Hmm.
up or life happens where they fall short and can't or something
Yeah.
happens. But bruh, I can't wait to see you get that diploma and
Yeah.
get your nursing license. And for one, I know for a fact that Hawaii needs better nurses. I know a lot of nurses, they have a lot of complaints about coworkers and how
Mhm.
things are done. And I think,
That's every job.
yeah, I guess so. You're right, but yeah, maybe I'm just around more nurses than not.
Yeah. No, like, tell me
Yeah,
not, right? Every job you had, there's always like one or two people where they're like slacking or they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing, or they're just trying to get you in trouble for no reason. They're starting dramas, you're just like, bro, I'm just trying to chill, like work hard, make my money, and go home, man. I
yeah,
do my job well, go home. But
yeah,
yeah, what you said about people selling themselves short of their goals and stuff, it's like, yeah, man. I mean, I think in general, it's just a difficult, like goals in general are just difficult to do because if it was easy, then everyone would be a nurse, everyone would be a lawyer or a doctor
yeah,
or a firefighter. I know one guy that took him like 10 years to get into and he was actively trying for 10 years, but it was just something that he wanted to do, and he stuck to it. And yeah, and then, some people they have kids unexpectedly and, it kind of throws
yeah,
a wrench in their plans. So it's kind of yeah, I get it. I get sometimes like there's always a way though, no matter what. No matter what you're doing, it might not be the way you imagined it, you know, but there's always a way. And if as long as you're still breathing, there's a chance. That's how
yep.
I see it. That's how
That's
I see
super. I like that mentality, and that's definitely a fighter mentality. When you become a nurse, what kind of nurse do you want to be? A psych nurse, or you're gonna be like kind of going mainstream, like med surge or telemetry or something like that?
So I've been actually thinking about that. Um like here and there, because one thing I like about working in the hospitals, like med surg and stuff like that, is that you actually use your skills a lot,
Yeah,
your practical nursing skills. You're constantly using them. So in the event that you're out of work and you need to help somebody out in public, you know, it's like that's how my mind works, right? Is like your skills out, how you can apply it outside too, like I would be like, that would be actually really cool to be able to do that. And there's
yeah.
times where, I mean, I've had people like working in a nursing home, right? Um, about like when old people are sitting down, the orthostatic hypotension, right? You stand up too
Oh
quick,
yeah,
you get,
yeah.
are you dizzy?
Dizzy,
Okay,
yeah,
sit back down. Okay, you
yeah.
good? Okay, let's try it again. But it's like I've had where I helped guys in public where they just like pass out and then they're
Oh
like, I
wow.
need to get up. I need to get up. I'm like, no, just sit here, take some breaths. And they're like, no, I'm gonna stand up. And I'm like, okay, man, up to you. They get up and they pass back out. And I'm like, okay, you just passed out. Just wait. And then they chill. It happened to me a couple times where like I was in public and I helped people with that. But
Oh
then
wow.
yeah, and I already know they're gonna pass out, so I'm just waiting to catch them. But yeah, like so I wanna do med surge type I want
Okay.
to, that's one thing that I wanna do because of that reason. But also I have it really good at the state hospital. And I
Oh
actually enjoy psych
yeah,
because I actually feel like this is a job where it fits me well, you
yeah.
know, and that I really thoroughly enjoy doing, like showing up to work. And
That's
like I mean,
awesome.
it's not like, oh, I would have never thought I would be at a psych hospital and doing that, but it's something that I actually can go to work every day and I'm like, okay, I can do this.
Yeah,
Because I've had jobs where like I'm just like, oh, I gotta go to work. I can't do another shift right now. Like mentally, I don't feel like I can, but I'm just gonna go do it. But like
yeah,
going to work for psych is like, we're kind of just, it's a little bit more slower pace until somebody acts up, you know.
yeah,
Then it's like 0, then we're going 100, then we're
yeah,
chilling again, like, for the most part, in the gist, that's what it's like. But yeah, like psych nursing, you're not really using your practical skills though, like
you're just
uh
passing meds pretty much or
starting,
cleaning
passing
wounds.
meds,
Yeah,
yeah, talking to patients. So it's a more chill pace, and I kind of like that honestly.
yeah,
I just wish we could still use some practical nursing skills, like where you're doing IV,
yeah,
or you're like inserting catheters, or they're doing more hands-on stuff, where you're actually really really using the skills that you learned in nursing school. So that's like the pros and cons of both. And one thing I really like about the hospital is that since I'm already affiliated there, I'm very comfortable. like
Yeah,
comfort, and
definitely.
the types of benefits that they have there, like it's not
Oh,
as good of
state,
pay.
that's why, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
The ben
yeah.
the pay is not as good as like a med surg nurse at like Queens. Imagine they're probably getting anywhere between like 65 and 80, 85, or they're making good money, like that
Yeah.
margin. But I think like in the hospital they're making anywhere between 45 and 65, like that. And like I think when you start as like a RN2, I think you get in as a RN2, I think they're only making like 45 to 50.
Oh,
It's not
wow.
really, yeah, for a nursing license, that's not like, that's on the lower end. Like, and especially with the economy here, it's like that is lower end. So like that's one of the things. But then RN3, I think you get like a pretty big jump to in pay. But the benefits, especially like if you have family and you just gotta
Yep.
like, you gotta be able to sick leave and not need a note, like, that's the best. Like, that's
Yeah.
like, and, as much as you value your career and what you do, family is always first, right? Family is your
Yeah,
number
correct.
one priority. Like, your daughter, she'll always be your number one. Like, you don't give you like, if something happens, you don't give a damn. Like, I'm leaving work. I don't care what you got. I gotta leave. I gotta leave.
Yeah.
I gotta be there. But it's like with state, with like working with the state, it's just like, hey, I gotta. You can just call them being like, hey, I gotta take emergency leave. Boom, no questions asked. Done. You can
Nice.
just go. And I really like that. And if you have a thing and I gotta call in sick, we're allowed like up to 4 days of sick leave without a note.
Oh, that's
That's great.
super cool. Yeah.
Oh, that's a every job I had, if I was sick leaving, I just needed a note, like a doctor note
Yeah. Yeah.
for 1 day. This is the first job I had where like I could actually take a sick leave and like not need a note. But
Yeah.
I mean, not that I really use it often at all. Like I'm always at work, but just in the for family
Yeah,
reasons.
for the future. Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
So
you might feel that way now, but then once you get in nursing program and work your internships and work on the floor in different situations, you might find a love or a passion for something different in the nursing field. But who knows?
yeah,
Like could do both, you know what I mean? Like yeah, knowing you,
yeah.
you probably get a job at Queens and keep your job at the state. You know
I
what I mean?
I was actually
Like
thinking that too, which is crazy. I was actually thinking about, I was like, "Oh, maybe I can do my off days at Queens and stuff like that." And yeah, I was actually considering it. Uh,
yeah.
yeah,
Well,
but
I see on your Instagram you spend a lot of time and pictures and stuff with your girlfriend and you seem very happy. You guys definitely match and
oh, yeah.
yeah, I'm super stoked for you, bro,
Yeah,
and finding some special person in this not just this island, just in life is not the
yeah, this world,
easiest. And
it's not, man. It's changed. A lot of things have
yeah.
changed. It's
Yeah.
like social media and all this stuff. Yeah, it's difficult. I think it's difficult in general to find somebody that you have like a decent amount of similarities with, and they want
Yeah.
the same things as you, believe in most of the same things as you, and they're just like, you can trust them with with your with your loyalty, with their loyalty. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's difficult, for sure. And there's always, relationships in general, there's always compromising to some sort. Nobody, you don't build your other half, you find them as
Yeah.
is. And yeah, you can't.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, you don't,
That's a good one.
because like, everybody wishes, like, and it's not necessarily like a bad thing where you're just like, that's not my most favorable thing about you. It's just like something you prefer, and that somebody doesn't fit that standard, I guess. And it's not
Yeah.
like a negative thing, but it's something that you compromise with because you love them. And so it's funny because like some people, they don't understand that, when they date people, they're just like, oh, they're not this. And it's like, I don't like them. And it's like, okay, well, you're gonna go run off and you're gonna go find somebody else there's something that you're not gonna like about them too.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's always gonna be something, and people
Yeah.
just think that they're gonna find somebody that's just like my soulmate. It's like it's
Perfect
it's
match.
yeah, it's like it's not that easy. Like the
Yeah,
fact
you're
that you
right
can
though.
like
You're not gonna build some that you kicking knowledge. You're not gonna build somebody.
yeah,
Yeah, you're
yeah,
how you
you know,
want them. It's
it's just
gotta give and take.
it's work, and it's like there's just some things that you have to value. They say your negotiables and non-negotiables, and things that you really want out of your other half that you look for And if they check pretty much all of the boxes, then it's a go, you know?
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you found that person, and like I said, you seem very
Thank you.
happy. We've
Yeah,
been
so
going for over oh, go ahead.
oh, I wanted to add, I mean, I don't know if it's too early to announce this, but then I found out she was pregnant, that she's
Oh, shit!
pregnant. Yeah,
Yeah!
yeah,
Oh,
toughness.
that's super dope. That was gonna be my next question. Where do you see that going in the future? But now it's happening.
Your boy's fertile.
Let's go. Never doubted, not never doubted you, bro.
Mm, mm.
Oh, that's I hope
Still got
everybody knows. I hope
uh,
everybody knows before they see this, because I don't
yeah.
let your mom see it first on this.
Uh,
And
I told my mom, and that was like
oh,
the
okay.
hardest thing, because I'm in school, right?
Yeah.
So, she was, I like, Asian moms, like, school first, get your, like, yeah,
Yeah.
typical, like, standard loving, caring mom.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh man, my girl told me on Easter. And then I was just like, oh, no kidding, huh?
That's why I
It's not,
found out on Halloween, so we get
oh,
holidays.
something about the holidays, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not like I wasn't trying, I was like, I wasn't being careful. Because to me,
Yeah.
I'm like, ideally, it's not the right like time financially and in my career, but I'm at an age where like I kind of want a child already. And
Yeah.
I'm like, in my head, I'm like, even if I do, I'm gonna figure out a way to get what I want both ways.
Oh
It's gonna
yeah,
be
your failure's not an option. When it comes to
yeah,
like I know your mindset,
yeah.
how you are with everything, and
Yeah.
a kid is gonna be even more. And that's how
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was. Once I had my daughter, I was locked into and cut out a lot of bullshit and locked into
Oh yeah.
where this is what's up. Like and
Yeah, yeah.
anything else, there's no failure.
Yeah, yeah.
It's win. It's just win or gonna
Yeah.
win. You know what I mean?
No, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm gonna figure out some way. If even if it's not my option A, it's gonna be B, C, D. I'm like planning, and it's more just about. And the cool thing was that like I've already been working towards my goals, and I've been putting that first over
Yeah.
many things. And so it's not that I'm gonna have to necessarily change my work ethic. It's more just about applying it I'm just spreading it out to different things now.
Yeah.
So, because I actually had one of my coworkers tell me like, or ask me, "Oh, are you stressed?" And I was just like, "No, I don't even feel stressed. Like I feel, like I'm not even stressed about it. I'm just kind of like thinking how I'm gonna navigate it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty calm about it, because I like, like I just told you, I was that I'm not really changing my work habit. It's not like I have to work more now. I already work more
Yeah.
than I should, you know.
Yeah.
So and I'm already in school and like
Well,
yeah,
you're
so
just
I'm
gonna
always
have to navigate finding time because you're gonna
yeah,
want to be there for
yeah,
special moments for sure.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so it's about working around that, and then also being like a good other half, right? So
Yeah.
and like trying to be there for her, and it's hard too because I know for her, like attention is like her thing, right? She's not really a monetary or like a materialistic person, which is one of the many things that I love about her. So it's like I don't need to buy her things or anything, but it's more just like, oh, you're working again. I want time. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm trying to like make this money so like eventually you could get a house. And it's like
Yeah.
I'm thinking bigger picture, right? But for
Yeah.
her, it's like the little moments. So it's trying to like balance all of that. It's like, oh, I guess I can not work overtime this day, but I'm
Yeah.
thinking like, oh man, that's like 12 hours of standard pay. But it's like
Yeah.
I have that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
man. And so, like, I'm just giving up that to have for her, and even more
Well,
so now. Yeah.
money can always be made, but
Mhm.
moments and memories, that's invaluable. And
Amen.
I think you already figured that out. And then once you
Yeah.
have your kid, oh, I'm so stoked for you, bro. This earth needs people to have kids that are good people. This
Yeah.
earth needs
Thank you,
good
man.
people to have kids. That's what I'm trying to
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro,
That'll be awesome, bro.
I think about that a lot too. It's like I want to
Yeah.
be a good example, and I want,
You already are, my bro.
thank
You
you.
already
I
are.
appreciate it.
Like you already are that guy. Yeah.
Yeah. I want my kid to be a very kind uh contributor to society. I want
Yep.
them to, more than anything, be a good person, and do well, do well for themselves and others.
Yep. That's awesome, bro. That's some great news. That's probably the best thing that was ever announced on my show.
I was like I was asking my girl, like, should I say it when I come on? Because I told her I was gonna be talking to you. And I
Yeah.
was like, telling her, like, is it too early? Because 8 weeks, a lot can happen. But that's how I was saying, like, I was like, I think, because in Filipino culture too, you don't really announce it more than the first. I think the first trimester you leave it alone, then you come out. But
Yeah.
I was like, and she's like, "Are you trying to hide it from people?" I was like, "No, I'm just thinking about you." And then
Yeah.
she was like, "Oh, if you want to do it, then do it." And I was like,
I
"Okay, we'll
tell
see."
the world now. I
Yeah, yeah.
tell the world right now.
Yeah, yeah. And it's just like for me, it's like I want to tell everybody. I'm excited. Like I can't keep it in, but I'm just like
Yeah.
the other part that makes me want to hold it is like I don't count my chickens before they hatch. I just
Yeah.
let the process go out and I let everyone figure out organically. But like I don't know. I'm just excited.
That
Just excited.
that's how you should be, and I would say go with your gut and like
Hmm.
you're fucking glowing right now. That's
Yeah.
fucking that's what's up. And yeah, I'm really stoked for you, bro. That's cool. That's super cool.
As more time goes by, I get more excited because
You
I
will,
remember when
bro.
she first told me, I was just like, oh, like I was kind of no kidding, huh? But then I was like, and then you see like videos online of like their other halves, like they pick up their ladies and like, oh my gosh, and they're all like happy, and I'm like,
Yeah.
that wasn't my reaction, and I'm just like, is there something wrong with me?
Yeah.
Like I'm not
My
like,
yeah, is mine was like, so what then? I literally told my girlfriend at the time, I'm like, well, I'm down if you're down. That's
yeah,
what
yeah,
I
yeah,
said.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what I was, and then my girl wanted a baby for real from the moment, I would say within like a couple months of me meeting her, and I was like, "You don't even know me." I was like, "I can be this horrible person, and then you wanna have a kid with me?" Like, I was like, "I think you need to wait a little bit before you decide?" And so,
Yeah,
obviously, she was excited, she's been wanting it, but the first,
that's
like,
awesome.
2.5 years, I was being very careful, but we never use contraception, like, I never ever, like, told her, "You need to take this," because
Yeah, yeah.
like for her, I want her to, if she doesn't feel comfortable, it's like you're basically putting things that mess with hormones in your body, like,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
don't, I don't think like any man should be able to tell their woman what they're putting in their body. So I,
Exactly.
it's like, hey man, just like pull out game, better be strong, if you really don't want a kid.
Yeah.
And so like that's basically how we were doing it for a long time. And then after a while, I was like, I actually see myself with her in the long run.
Yeah.
So, like, after a while, I was like, "I don't care, team
Yep.
leave it in, I don't care."
Well, it worked.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and what she told me before, like, she tried before and, like, it didn't happen for her, so I was just thinking like, "Oh, okay, like, she she calls herself, like, not as fertile, she can't get pregnant." So, like, to me, I'm thinking like, "Ah, it's probably not gonna happen," like, and then it ha and then it happened, and that's why I was like, "Oh, no kidding." Like, I guess
Guess
you
so
can
then.
get pregnant.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Well,
was like,
congratulations, bro. That's super cool.
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
thank you,
I'm
man.
stoked for you, man. Well,
Thank
we
you.
definitely been going for over an hour, and before we get off, I wanted to ask you two cool questions. One was about your fight career. What would be your go-to food after the weigh-ins?
Ooh, so from experimenting, you know, keep it short and sweet, I would say sushi.
Okay. Some
Yeah,
carbs,
sushi.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because you got your protein and your carbs, and I feel like sushi always digested well with me.
Okay. And after
Because
the fight, what was your go-to meal? Like what was like,
pizza.
oh yeah, that's
And
yeah,
and it's always
pizza.
there. It's usually always there at the fights.
Oh
It's just
yeah, yeah. The shitty green
yeah.
rooms. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like greasy, it's good. I
Yeah.
love pizza. Pizza's like pizza and sushi are like my favorite foods and burgers. So
Oh,
that's
nice.
why I didn't say burgers because I actually, before the after weigh-ins for my Bellator fight, I ate a burger and it just like made me so bloated. It was
Oh
like
yeah.
and even the next day I still had like some kind of like indigestion where I was just like "Grr." It didn't digest well with me, but I'd say like sushi always like if there was probably like 3 or 4 times where I ate sushi after weigh in, and it always like sat well.
Oh,
And I
that's
think
good.
also it's not just what you eat, it's you eat it in increments too, because
Yeah, you don't just pound it. Yeah,
yeah, because like you're not used to eating that big greasy bulk in one sitting. It's like you just gotta
yeah,
eat a little bit, wait like 2 3 hours, eat like some more of it. So yeah,
yeah.
that was my go-to. So my go-to would probably be sushi for sure.
Nice. That's
Yeah.
cool. And then last thing I would say is, what advice would you give to a fighter transitioning out of their fight career into doing something um non-fight related, or moving on with their life? What advice would you give them?
Okay, I'm making pretend I'm talking to you and you're just transitioning out.
All
I
right.
would say I would I'd probably more like ask questions about what they're doing and why they're doing it, because I think that if you because you did fighting for a reason, right? Like you had your purpose, and
Yeah.
that was like your backing, right? But if you're obviously putting something before that, that must be pretty important, like to shift your life around and to make room for it.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, it's worth it. And at some point you do gotta, if that's not gonna be your career and the money maker, it's there's not everybody can do that for a living and
Yeah.
be successful. And it is hard, but you know you need to do what you need to do to make your money, and to put your family first, especially if you have kids or you plan on having kids. And that is kids are way beyond you. They're more important, and they always come first, and you have to sacrifice the things that you love for your kids, and that's the ultimate form of love, right? Is
Yep.
that
Definitely.
you put something above yourself, and you go out of your way, even if it hurts you, you're gonna do that for them, you know, and there's nothing more honorable than that.
Yep.
And and fighting is just something that you do. It's not, I mean, it is a part of you, it's a part of who you are, and
Yeah.
it'll always be a part of what you did and who you are, and it made you the person you are because you did that, right? But it's just a piece. It's not wholly who you are, you
Yeah.
know? You know? There's other parts to you that make you who you are. It's just a piece of you that will always be there.
Yep. Oh, that's good advice. Well, I appreciate you taking time to come on my show and talk
Yeah,
about what you got going on. Like,
yeah,
yeah,
man. Thank
I
thank you
was
for having me.
excited. Yeah, I was
This
excited
was
for this
fun.
one, bro. Yeah,
This was
and
fun.
I think a lot of people can take some inspiration from hearing you talk and tell your story. And yeah, it
That'd be
was definitely
that'd be
fun. I
cool.
will have you back when you get your nursing license and see what you're getting into next.
Yeah, yeah, man. Dude, time flew by. It's like
Yep.
I thought it was gonna be harder.
Nah, no worries. I
Yeah,
told you it's gonna be just like talking story with me.
yeah, no,
It's
I
just
know.
we're not drunk and we're talking about like more like life shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I like that. I'm part Portuguese, so I can
Yep.
talk.
That's the best. Easy for edit.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Dude,
Right on, bruh.
I'm comfortable with all of it, man. So
Yep. Right on. Well, shakas for the cameras. Right on. We're out. Shout out to the Artist Group Network. Aloha.
thank you. Shoes, bro.